sparked a revolution.
Doopy doopy doop boo boo. Welcome to the 18 Wheel Talk Podcast Show.
Oh, look at you singing. You're funny. Welcome.
Well, hello there, Janet.
Hello, Patrick.
What are we going to talk about today on the podcast show?
Well, everybody in the world likes zombies, right? Zombie apocalypse.
Except when they catch me and want to eat my brains.
Well,
technically, I got to have a brain for them to want to eat, I guess.
yeah, besides, there's those brain-eating things in Lake Mead. We don't need to worry about that.
No, it's a what do they call it? An amoeba?
I think so. So
Somebody died from that. Juvenile, they called it.
they like juvenile brains the best, so we're safe.
Well, the only way they can actually get infected is the
Goes through their nose.
It goes up the nose and into the brain. If you swallow it, you can't get infected because the acid in your stomach eats it, I guess.
Okay, then. Note to self.
At least that's what I read about. God knows how true that is.
Nose plugs for life. Okay, so.
Especially if you're on Lake Mead.
Yes. Back to our story.
Yes.
I want to talk about zombies, and zombies, they prefer adult brains over juvenile brains.
Okay.
Do you know what else?
What?
Zombies never sleep.
This is true.
That's where we're going.
Well, almost everyone has encountered a zombie-like feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
This is true.
After a night of no sleep or very little sleep.
This is true.
I'm for one is coffee.
Yeah. I'd just like to thank all the people out there that send me coffee and like to keep me out of jail.
Yeah, right.
Coffee does that to me because I sometimes feel like a zombie.
Janet without coffee. Oof.
Scary.
I have seen it once.
Say it isn't.
It
so.
really wasn't that scary.
Really?
Yeah, you were kind of just like a mope all day.
Oh, imagine me for a month without it. No caffeine. So,
Anywho,
we're talking about
back to the show.
what zombies can teach you about sleep deprivation.
Okay.
So, if you feel extremely tired during the day, that's like one of the hallmark signs of sleep deprivation. Not like a Hallmark card, but if there was
Okay.
one for this, I'd send it.
All right. So if you're feeling extremely tired,
Like if you're always tired.
just got all day.
Yeah, always
Okay.
yawning, always tired. That's sleep deprivation, possibly.
Okay.
If you have excessive daytime sleepiness, feel drowsy, hard time staying awake when you need to, like, say, behind the wheel,
Yep.
this could result in what's called a microsleep. Now, I'd never even heard the word microsleep until I looked it up. That's those moments, like when you start to fall asleep and your head jerks or you nod.
Whoa. What?
It could,
Where am I? What time is it?
Yeah, you could doze off, they say, for up to 30 seconds and be a microsleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
It felt like an hour.
Well, that'd be a good nap.
All right.
Right? So some of the signs of microsleep are drowsiness, trouble focusing, heavy eyelids, blank staring, yawning. Some of these sound familiar, like behind the wheel.
Oh, sorry. I was blank staring.
So, haven't you ever experienced something like that behind the wheel?
Well, yeah. I used to be an over-the-road truck driver.
That's why I mention it. And we've driven RV and cars and,
We've done a lot.
know.
Yeah, I've
And then what happened? You're like,
I need to pull over.
how'd I get here?
Yeah.
I just saw
What happened to the last 10 miles of road?
Where'd my exit go?
Yeah, right?
I was just up coming to it and it's gone. Then you got to look at the mile marker in normal states where the mile marker matches the exit.
Usually, yeah.
Normal states,
Normal state.
not New York. So anyway,
Anyway.
and then you're like, I was just at my 2 miles before my exit and now I'm 10 miles beyond my exit. How'd that happen?
Turn around.
Well, you're in an RV or a big rig. You can't. In a car, you're not supposed to
stop.
turn
You
around in
can
the
do
median
that.
illegally.
Who said anything about just turn around on the highway and go back the other way?
Well, we're not talking about wrong way drivers
We're
here.
not talking about
We are
that.
not talking about Phoenix and wrong way drivers. Nice try.
Never heard of it as much as I have since we've been here.
This
I
is
mean,
true.
granted, it does happen in other states, but I mean, it really happens here in Arizona, and I just don't get it. I mean,
Yeah.
how stupid you got to be.
Okay, different subject.
Anyways, sorry.
Back to sleep deprivation and
Sleep
zombies.
deprivation.
It slows your thinking. That is so true. When I'm tired, I'm just like my brain can't function.
Okay.
You've seen me when I'm really tired, when I'm trying to keep your hours, and I'm a morning person.
Yeah, I know.
Up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and my brain says
And then
6
you're back
a.m.
up at then you're back up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, because the pugs and I like.
But
to be
then
up in the
but then
morning.
you're stubborn and don't come back to bed after you go and take care of the pugs.
Well, I try.
No, you don't.
Sometimes.
No, you don't.
Okay, fine.
You don't, because
I'm
you
stubborn.
feel that they take precedence over your sleep. They will find a cozy spot to curl up and go back to sleep. You just have to come back to bed.
Usually, it's next to me on the couch.
Well, you could just come back to bed
Anywho,
and curl up next to me in the
Next.
bed.
next.
Hint, hint.
I took the hint. Okay, next. Reduced attention span. Moving on.
Reduced attention span. Oh, butterfly. Oh,
I don't know
did you see
anybody-
that butterfly over
I don't know
there?
anybody that sees
Oh, look at this
butterflies.
little butterfly.
Okay, now explain what you're talking about.
All right.
Do tell.
So Jen will come over and give me a kiss and say, I'm going to bed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And within a 10-minute time span, she's made it from the living room to the kitchen and has folded a load of laundry and loaded the dishwasher and did 6 other different things except go to bed like she said. So I got to yell at her and say, stop looking at butterflies and go to frick to bed.
Okay, but
But
this is not butterflies. This is how I was raised.
mm-hmm.
Your house, you get stuff in order before you go to bed.
Okay, well, then next time tell me that. Don't tell me you're going to bed and then get the house in order.
I'm going to bed means I'm going to straighten things up and then go to bed. That's
No.
just given.
You're telling me you're going to bed. Go to bed.
There's a
Silly
detour.
girl.
There's always a detour,
There's
Patrick.
butterflies.
Okay, so bed means butterflies. Just keep that in mind.
Reduced attention span is what that is. Janet's like, ooh, butterflies. Gotta do this. Gotta fold the laundry. It was in the dryer, okay? It can stay in the dryer, and we'll
There'll
do it
be
in the morning.
wrinkles.
That's why we got the dryer that we got. You push the wrinkle release and push start, and voila, no more wrinkles.
Okay, fine. So it worsens your memory.
What?
Exactly.
I'm doomed.
So
I'm screwed. All right, end this program.
if you have chronic sleep deprivation,
Okay.
it can affect your memory.
What?
Yeah.
Didn't we just say that?
No. I don't remember.
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
And what can this lead to?
Butterflies.
Poor decision making. Or risky decision making, like
Let's drive the heavy equipment.
I've only got 50 miles left. I'm
I
gonna
can-
keep on going.
I can do it.
I could do it.
Rah, rah, ree.
That's why the accidents happen so close to home so many times. Because people are like, I'm only 50 miles from home. I can do it.
I can do it.
I got this.
I got
It doesn't matter if you're in your car, your RV, on your motorcycle, in your big rig, whatever. It's only 50 miles to
I
home,
know, it's only 50
and I
miles.
can do it. I want to sleep in my own bed.
But that 50 miles takes like 4 hours.
Because you're like, you're all over the
Radio
road.
radio gets turned up. The windows get rolled down. You're like, I can do this.
Yeah, and then you're on the steering wheel,
Yeah,
and
you-
you're
you
bouncing
just-
all over.
Shaking your head,
Yeah, it's
slapping
fucking-
yourself around. Wake up, wake
Wake
up.
up, wake up.
Oh, butterflies.
Oh, next thing you know, you're all over the road
I'm
again.
gonna pull over right here, take a little nap.
10 minutes becomes an hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well have just pulled over to begin with at the last rest stop.
It also leads to lack of energy.
I don't know. What you talking about?
I got no energy.
I got a nappy in there.
Although we did do an episode prior to this one on food that'll give you energy. So we'll leave a comment down.
A link.
We'll leave a link to that episode in the show notes.
That's a good idea.
Just
So
let
you're
you know.
telling me that when I'm tired, I should eat behind the wheel?
Well, there's food that you could have, nibbly food that you could eat that would give you some energy,
Oh, yeah, this is true.
So, and by the way, thanks to You Know Who You Are for finding our little Easter egg in our description.
Oh, yeah.
Your prize is on the way.
Yep, it's in the mail.
So yeah. Be sure
you for reading.
be sure to read our descriptions because you never know what you're gonna find.
Mm-hmm.
There might be $100 gift card in your future. Just saying.
Could be something else.
You never know what we're going to be doing. This is, after all, our 3-year anniversary.
This is true.
We are 3 years old, and we
I've been telling people I'm 29. Now
You're-
you're telling me I'm only 3?
the podcast shows.
Oh, shoot. Had me worried there.
I know, right?
Like, dang, Julian's older than me.
It's taken us that long to get to 3.
Wow.
It
It
seems
took 3 years to
it
get to
took
3?
forever.
Wow.
But yes, we are.
3 years old.
Pardon me. We are 3 years
Wheel
old.
Podcast Show is 3 years old.
Tell your friends. Tell your family.
Tell your enemies.
Don't tell your grandmother because we swear a lot. Well, I swear a lot. If grandma's got a trucker's mouth or a sailor's tongue, then tell her.
This is true.
But hey, listen, if we make you laugh, if we at least make you laugh, at least leave us a comment below if you're watching us on video, or leave us a review on your favorite podcast player if you can.
Please. And
If
thank
not, you can always go to iTunes and leave us a review. There's a couple other podcast players out there that you can. I just can't think of them. I think Good Pods is one of them.
you. So you're
Cast
saying
Pods.
worsened memory?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I got worse in memory. But anyways,
Anyway.
it would greatly appreciate it. It would help out the show. And again, I didn't mean to get off track, but thank you for reading our description
Patrick.
and finding our little Easter egg.
Patrick.
Yes, Janet?
Zombies also talk about sleep deprivation leading to mood changes, such as anxiety, irritability, and stress.
Are you going for an Academy Award?
Yeah, actually I was. How'd I do?
No, winner, chicken dinner.
The horror. Anyway, yes. Stress and anxiety and irritability are also signs of sleep deprivation. Boy, I know some people that must never sleep.
That's why I retired from my last job. I must have suffered from sleep deprivation. I got to retire.
But all the other people obviously never slept.
Stress, anxiety, and irritability. Boy, I had all 3 of them.
I know someone who has all those, and I thought they slept all the time, but obviously never.
You're talking about me?
Nope.
You?
Nope. Other people. Anyway.
Other people.
Yes, other people. So.
Do tell.
Nope.
Theater.
Off the air, I'll tell you.
So,
But if I'm talking about you, you know it. Behave yourself.
butterflies. Anyways, thank you for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, comment.
Patrick? Memory loss?
No.
You just said that.
I know. I just
Oh,
want to
okay.
reiterate it because sometimes you got to say it more than once to get people to do things.
Yeah, especially those people with memory loss.
We do greatly appreciate everyone that watches our videos and listens to our podcast show.
Yes, we do.
And be sure to check out our Patreon. There's links all over the place to get to our Patreon. You can go to our resources tab on our website, 18wheeltalk.com.
And be a hobo with us.
You could, yeah, just check it out. Just check out some of the fun names that we got on our Patreon account. I
And
mean,
thanks to the Patreons we do have.
You want to be a bum for a couple of bucks a month? Hey, that greatly helps out the show, keeps us on the air. You want to be a hobo? Same as a bum. It's just going to cost you $1 more to change the name.
And look cuter.
And
Maybe.
And if you want to get in our witness protection program, hey, it's there.
We'd name you, but you're in WITSEC, so we can't.
So
Kind
anybody
of like the pugs.
anybody that has already currently been a part of our WITSEC program,
Thank you. We can't.
mom's the word. You know who you are.
So,
Anyways, back to the show.
so did you know there's a lot of studies that compare sleep deprivation to alcohol impairment?
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it's been compared to being under the influence of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you think of it, some of the symptoms of sleep deprivation makes it sound like you're drunk.
Well, when you're driving
it's similar.
tired, think
It's
about it. When
similar.
you're driving tired and you're weaving back and forth, cop can't tell if you're drunk or tired.
Right.
Same
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly. They'll pull you over and give you a sobriety check.
You know, cognitive and
little
motor
dance.
performance, they're
Touch your
equivalent
nose. Touching it.
to legally prescribed levels of alcohol.
And do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. Oh, sorry.
So there was even a book written about this.
Okay.
I believe his name, it's Matthew Walker. He has a PhD.
Okay.
And the book he wrote was called Why We Sleep.
Okay.
So how drunk are you without sleep?
I don't know. Studies have conducted and
Replicated.
and replicated to determine how long a person needs to be awake before impairment is measurable.
Mm-hmm.
How the impairment progresses and how long it takes to recover.
Yep, it's measured by counting lapses in attention. They actually sat people down and made them
What?
stay awake.
What?
It's a really cool book.
Butterfly.
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 So they're made between fully rested subjects and sleep-deprived subjects and legally drunk subjects.
Oh,
I
man.
so would have wanted to been in that.
You know what
one.
that reminds me of? That WKRP episode where they were doing shots,
Oh.
and then the drunker he got, the better he got at doing his job.
Yep. However, here's some of their better results or more meaningful results. If to a fully rested person, a person who has been awake for 16 hours has measurable impairment. Now think about it.
What does that mean, measurable impairment?
Noticeable.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
What are hours of service?
For driving,
For driving a truck, for instance.
they can drive for 10 hours. Last I know, drive 10.
And hours of service for 14.
Okay.
But if you're driving to work, like when I drove in New York,
Okay.
it took me 45 minutes to get to work,
Okay.
14-hour day,
Okay.
45 minutes to get home.
All right.
By the time I was on my way home, I was on my 16 hours because you don't just drive to work, boom, start working. You drive
True.
to work, you do some stuff, you punch in.
But technically, it's hours of service for a truck driver is the minute they get in that truck. Well, they punch in.
Punch in because the
If you
job
punch
I
in.
had, we had stuff to do before we got behind the wheel.
But you driving your own car to work and back doesn't count as your hours of service.
No, but I'm pointing out that I'm not talking about hours of service. I'm talking about hours behind the wheel, hours awake.
I gotcha.
You're talking about awake hours.
Oh,
From the
okay.
time
I
I got up at
misunderstood
2
you.
o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
I was at work by 3:30.
Okay.
Okay. I punched in by 4 o'clock.
Mhm.
I drove till 2 o'clock. I
Okay.
punched out by 3:30 or so.
Been there, done that.
I was home by 4:30 or at the gym by 4:30. I worked out for an hour. Then I went home. I didn't go to bed until 8 o'clock at night, by which time I had been up for, well over 16 hours.
Yep. And
That
then you only
legally
get, like,
impaired. And that doesn't even count if I went out to eat or out to the bar and drank.
What?
I know, right?
Left.
Right, left, right. So, yeah.
Person who's been awake for 19 hours is as cognitively impaired as a person who is legally drunk. That's
So
what
I
you're
was
saying.
legally drunk.
So that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You were legally drunk after 19 hours of
Yeah.
being up.
Because I slept for about 5 hours a night.
Your allergies are kicking your butt today.
I know they are, even with an allergy pill that hasn't kicked in apparently.
Well, you got to start taking it earlier. First thing in the morning.
Okay, fine.
Take all your drugs.
All at once.
All at once.
Anyway, so I know people that only sleep for 3 or 4 hours a night.
I used to be that way.
But it also, my opinion, different people need different types of sleep.
Yeah, when I was younger, I could function on 3-4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Now, not so much.
Yeah, me too.
Now I need like 12, 13 hours of sleep to be fully functional.
This is true. So being
What?
awake,
Hey, wait a minute.
I was trying to sweep that under
You
the
ain't
carpet.
getting away with that. You sweeping under the carpet. Miss, I got to see butterflies before I go to bed.
I like my butterflies.
I know.
I like to clean.
Mhm.
Can't help it.
Well, don't do it before you got to go to bed because then you won't go to bed.
I do too, go to bed eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Anyways, back to the show.
being awake for 24 hours produces more than 4 times as many missed responses in reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't measured because the subject never responded to the stimuli. It was almost as if they were asleep for a second or two.
Whoa.
It's worse than that measured for a person that was awake for 19 hours or legally drunk.
Okay.
So once you're awake for 24 hours, you're beyond
You're
legally
screwed.
drunk. You're
You're
screwed.
screwed.
Yep.
Your SOL. That's what I call it. Shit out, of luck.
Mm-hmm.
SOL. Shut out.
As opposed to SOS, which I like.
Shit on a shingle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the cooker.
This is true.
As long as it's not shit out of the backyard, I'm good.
Ew.
Ew.
Okay, back to
Anyways.
sleeping.
Go ahead.
Sleeping 6 hours a night for 10 days, which do a lot,
Mm-hmm.
leads to impairment equivalent to a person who's been awake for 24 hours. Worse than drunk.
6 hours a night for 10 days leads to impairment equivalent to a person
That's drunk
who's been awake for 24 hours.
or drunk. Worse than drunk.
What? I get 6 hours a night almost every night.
But if you take a nap during the day, that helps.
Do I take a nap during the day?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
You get up,
okay.
make our shakes, take a nap.
Oh.
That helps.
Oh, okay. So I get up, I eat breakfast, then take a nap.
Yes.
It's because I get wore out from eating breakfast.
I know. The carbs kill me. It's because it's got carbs in it.
That was a workout all on its own.
So if you sleep 4 hours a night for 6 days,
Mm-hmm.
the impairment is equivalent to a person who's been awake for 24 hours. Still worse than being drunk. So no matter what, if you're sleeping a little bit, you're drunk, basically, is what I hear.
So you're better off just being up 24 hours. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Party! No?
No, because sleep deprivation leads to steady increase in impairment.
All right, so you're saying
The less
it's
you
bad.
sleep, the worse your impairment is.
All right, so... All right. So what you're saying is sleep deprivation leads to steady increase of impairment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you just said.
That's what I just said.
So the test performance of the subjects gets worse,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no evidence to support the maximum impairment.
Correct. They haven't found that it stops. You just keep getting worse and worse.
So if Johnny drinks more vodka, he got better
Does he?
from WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's true. What was his last name? Dr. Johnny Fever.
Yeah, I think it was Johnny Fever.
Johnny Fever. They called him Dr. Johnny Fever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Johnny got better drinking vodka. You don't get better with less sleep.
I know, because it was just, they were like, they couldn't believe the more he drank, the better he rocked.
This is true.
And they were like, there's no way, because I think there was a bet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other guys were out after like 3 shots or 4 shots. Oh, I wish I could put a link to that episode. That was
funny.
I'll have to see if I can find it. See if I can put.
That's just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can put a link to that episode on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I'll see if I can find it on YouTube, and I'll put a link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
So, now I forgot where we were.
Chronic.
Chronic sleep restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so routinely getting less than 7 hours of sleep a night
Mm-hmm.
for a week requires more than 3 nights to recover sleep to return to fully rested levels of test performance.
You know how they say you can't make up for lost sleep?
Okay.
Remember how they used to say that?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't get enough sleep during the week, you can't make it up on weekends?
Want to bet?
You can. Depends on how much sleep you lost during the week as to whether you can make it up in 2 days.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've slept 10, 12 hours because a certain somebody decided to
Let you sleep because you needed it?
leave me be for whatever reason. When I tell her I don't want to sleep all day, and yet I sleep all day.
You don't sleep all day, just like 10 hours. So anyway, sleep.
That's like half the day's gone.
It is not.
When-
Sleep.
From when I went to bed to when you wake me up, yeah, the day's gone.
Patrick.
You've already been up like 6 hours.
Patrick.
Yes, dear.
Sleep-deprived individuals do not accurately self-assess how sleep-deprived they are. In other words, you think you're alert enough to drive or function or,
I'm fine.
or do a podcast, but you're not.
What?
Today you are because I
Wait a
let you
minute.
sleep.
Wait a minute. How does that wait? No, I can do a podcast at any time.
I can do a podcast in my sleep, he says.
That's right. What happened? What did I miss?
So this is all out of the book, Why We Sleep, by Matthew Walker, and we'll have a link for that.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description.
Because it's a really interesting book.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yep. So
this, like I said, if you're interested in getting his book, we will definitely put a link in the show notes so that you can go get it.
yeah, I found it really interesting. It was kind of a funny read, in my opinion, but I like stats.
You're a stataholic.
Well, that's why I did the job I did in the Army.
What?
I know, right?
Wait a minute.
Anyway,
Back to the show.
it's estimated that sleep deprivation affects about 1/3 of all American adults. Wonder what the rest of the world. I never looked up to see what the rest of the world.
1/3.
1/3 of Americans. But the rest of the world, like Europe, they only work 4 days a week. So I'm guessing they get more
what's
sleep.
the population of the United States?
A lot.
Is it like 7 something billion?
Chirp, chirp,
Million?
Chirp.
Billion? I don't know.
chirp,
It's a lot of peeps.
chirp.
Why
Yeah.
are you chirping at me?
Because I have no idea. I'm just chirping in the wind. I don't know.
No, they make a handheld device so you could just.
Yeah,
like,
you could.
but mine's out of reach because we're doing a podcast.
It's right there.
It's up there charging, and there's like wires and everything. I don't want to disrupt the cameras and everything. I mean, we got cameras there. We got a camera over
Oh,
here.
my God.
Hi, everybody. We got a camera over there. I'm just saying.
I will find out.
That would be awesome.
Oh, okay.
All right. While she's looking at it. So she's saying that it's estimated to
Population of
affect
the US.
around 1/3 of American adults.
And it picked up what you said, not what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Keep talking.
Okay. I'm talking. Chirp, 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 chirp.
329.5 million people in the U.S., and that was as of 2 years ago.
How much? 300?
And 29 million.
Okay, so what's 1/3 of that?
100 million.
Okay.
110 million, roughly.
You're the stat person. That's why I asked.
Okay, so now there's 332,403,650 people. So 110 million and some change.
And some change. A little chingle.
A little chingle with your jingle.
Chingling.
So 110 million people roughly are affected by sleep deprivation. Imagine if they're all on the road at the same time. Just let them hit each other.
Oh, we're screwed. Have you seen the people that drive
That's
in
what's
Phoenix?
wrong with Phoenix.
I know. Everybody's
The whole
sleep deprived.
city is sleep deprived.
What? This just in.
Phoenix is sleep
Phoenix
deprived.
is sleep deprived.
News
Wait.
at 10, 11, and 12 because they forgot what they were doing, so they did the broadcast again.
Wait a minute.
Okay. While short-term impacts are more noticeable, chronic sleep deprivation can heighten the long-term risk of physical and mental health problems. Mental health, too, not just physical.
Oh, man, we are fucked.
The language. I'm so horrified.
Oh, stop it. It's not the first time you heard that word.
Yeah, it is. The whole time I was in the military, the whole time I drove a truck, I never heard that word, not in the hospitality industry. Never. First time. Oh, baby Jesus, pray for me. Anyway.
That's a bunch of bullshit right there.
So, mental health problems. Sleep deprivation leads to mental health problems.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's got a little bit of a twitch there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm mentally fine.
So, I'll let you do the next one because I want to argue it.
All right, so
And go.
all right, so the needed amount of sleep, which for adults ranges from 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night.
That's where I want to argue.
Okay.
I still say that not everybody. I need at least 8 to 9 hours,
Okay.
but not everybody does.
Well, they say set between. They say the range is between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. So if I say if I go 7 hours of sleep, that should be good for me.
Correct. Most of the time.
Most
but
of the
you
time.
need to catch up. But like my brother, when he worked for a big car manufacturer, I'm not going to say which brother and which car manufacturer.
Okay.
When he did, he got like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. One of my other brothers does the same thing now.
Yeah.
And then sometimes on his day off, he'd sleep for, 10 hours. But he did really well on 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
I could function on 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
But he climbed top of buildings.
I roughhouse with machinery right now.
I know, but you know what I mean.
I'm just saying. I can do it. It can be done.
It can be done. Your body does adjust. I don't recommend it. I used to get on
I
him
don't
about
recommend it either.
Yeah, I used to tell him, you're not getting enough sleep. You need to sleep more.
Shit happens.
Life
happens.
That was kind of his attitude. Life happens. I still want to be there.
And
for
I
my
know
family.
I know him. He probably said, "I'll sleep when I'm dead."
No, I'll sleep eventually.
Yeah.
I think he used to say.
I used to say that. It's like, you ain't getting enough sleep. I'm like, fucking sleep. Sleep is mediocre. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I will definitely be asleep when I'm dead. That's for sure. Just saying.
So you're saying death is just a big sleep?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. The big sleep. So, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, that's a long sentence, classifies sleep deprivation and sleep insufficiency in
Okay.
different ways.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a difference.
I didn't know there was a difference either.
Acute sleep deprivation refers to a short period, like a few days or less, when a person has a significant reduction in their sleep time.
Okay.
Like when you drive that few extra miles to get somewhere in a few days and push your own limits to get there.
Right.
Like when my brother and I had to go back to Missouri,
Okay.
we pushed it.
Yeah.
We drove straight through. We didn't stop for the night or anything. We drove straight through from here to there.
Right.
That was acute.
Because
we slept when we got there.
There was a reason why.
Yeah.
Everybody has their reasons.
My screen just did something. Hold on.
What did it do? Oh.
There.
You're playing with buttons.
I touched it.
Don't.
So that would be acute sleep deprivation. You do
Listen.
something for a reason.
I'm
and
the
it's
one
not
that
the norm.
screws things up, not you.
Anyway, it's not the norm.
Correct. It's not.
Once in a blue moon type of thing.
Blue moon.
Do you know what a blue moon is?
It's blue-ish.
Correct. It's every couple months. That's what it refers to.
I know.
Oh, well, you knew and you didn't say it,
I
turkey.
just said it. I just answered your question. You asked
No.
me if I knew what a blue moon was. It's when the moon is kind of bluish in color.
But you never said it happens every couple of months.
I didn't. Well, I know it happens. I just
Anyway.
didn't realize it was like every couple of months.
Chronic sleep deprivation is also known as insufficient sleep syndrome. Chronic sleep deprivation. You don't sleep enough. 3 months or longer. I know people that do this.
All right. So if you don't get enough sleep for 3 months or longer, it's sleep syndrome, insufficient sleep syndrome,
Yeah.
ISS,
Okay, so what's that?
insufficient sleep syndrome.
Like?
What do you mean? You want me to give you a for instance?
Yeah, for instance. Oh my God.
All right, so like that extra job that always takes, or always take that overtime, take an extra load, still try to do all of your home time, be a super parent or spouse,
Yeah.
either or, get everything done around the house, go out with the friends, etc. Yeah, no.
Well, there's people that do
No,
that.
because, I mean, if you're...
They take the extra load, they put in the extra hours, and then when they get home, they still want to do everything.
Yeah, and unfortunately, sorry, but that doesn't ever work that way.
We know someone who's young who tried doing this and then missed some things that she paid for and paid cash for, and then was like, I can't believe I slept for a day.
Well, hello, we told you.
Well, we didn't say we told you. We just said, imagine that.
I told you so.
Nope, I just said, imagine that. Inside, I said,
We told you. You didn't listen.
I did say you must be getting older than you think you are.
She didn't want to listen to the experts.
People who have not slept enough.
because we are here to help truckers and travelers in their pursuit of health, happiness, and a better life behind the wheel.
You know, the one advantage people in an RV have, and people that drive over the road have,
Which is?
they have their bed with them.
Yes.
If
They have
you
a
are
place
so
to
tired
pull
and
over.
you're in an RV or in a semi that has a sleeper,
Mhm.
when you find a place to park, you can pull over and park.
There are overnight parking places.
Yes.
We talked about this.
We did. Where to find them?
Link in the show notes.
Link in the show notes. Let me make a note.
35 minutes in. Link in the show notes. Overnight parking.
Anyway,
You actually made it.
I actually made a note
You actually
because
made a
otherwise
note.
I would forget that one. I forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about that.
Okay, they have that advantage. Now, the disadvantage now for truckers is they have the electronic logs.
Yes. Yeah, back in
Which-
the day you could kind of fudge the numbers a little.
You could fudge the numbers, take a half-hour sleep behind the wheel or climb back in the bunk, and
Yeah.
you'd be okay. Now, it's like everything's
Because
electronic.
you used to have to average. See, I used to log on the average of miles per hour. So if I was on the interstate,
Mm-hmm.
and I was doing 65 miles, the speed limit 65.
Mm-hmm.
If I did XYZ in miles divided by the miles per hour, it would tell me how long it should have taken me to get there. And if I got there a little earlier, I kind of say, "Oh, look, I can let my logbook catch up. I'm going to take a nap."
Yeah, I did that too.
I'm just saying, if I got to a certain point to where I was tired and
Mm-hmm.
needed to close my eyes for a little bit, usually it's like you call letting your logbook catch up to you.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
I know, right? No, you penned a second book or a third book.
Maybe.
See, I never did that.
I never did 3 books much.
I tried to do a second book, and I screwed it up. So I was like, yeah, no. And thank God I was on a 7-day off to be able to do a full reset because I screwed it up.
Yeah, I usually did 2 books, honestly, because I can't do anything now.
But you're talking, I mean,
But 3 books occasionally. And when I went from Montreal to here in Phoenix,
well, you had
I had a reason.
reasons.
And I did 3 books successfully. And I actually went through several DOT stops without being caught. But at the state line here from New Mexico to Arizona, I was so tired, honestly, that the cop could see it in my eyes. And he asked me the reason. And I told him. And he made some phone calls. And then he put the sticker on my window and said, "You can just go."
Oh.
And then he told me when I got to Phoenix, let my books catch up with me. All of them.
Make sure your books catch up to you.
Yeah, anyway.
That's a moment.
Yeah, because I didn't want to not be in Phoenix when I needed to be. And my dad yelled at me. I'm like, who do you think taught me 2 log books?
He said, "Definitely not me."
And he crossed his fingers when he said that.
Yeah, I don't believe him running too long. Your dad, no, straight as an arrow.
So anyway,
Oh, you just threw him under the bus and ran him over.
I know, and he's listening. All right, so chronic sleep deficiency is ongoing sleep deprivation, poor sleep that occurs because of sleep fragmentation or disruptions, such as it's reserved for those special people that never get a truly good night's rest and the smallest things wake them up.
like Janet and the pugs.
Or mommies. This is mommy syndrome, in my opinion.
Yeah, mommies with the new baby.
Or daddies that stay home with the new baby.
Listen, when my kids were born,
Mm-hmm.
didn't matter how many hours I worked, I heard them whine in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I got up with them in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And my nephew is suffering from this a lot since his baby's been born.
Yeah.
Because he's the stay-at-home dad, and he's really having a hard time sleeping because he hasn't.
He hasn't got on the
Adjusted.
baby. He hasn't adjusted to the baby schedule.
Yeah, he hasn't.
That's what he has to do.
He has to learn to sleep when the baby sleeps.
Yeah. When the
that's
baby
a-
goes down for a nap, you go down for a nap, and you got to make yourself do it.
Okay, so another reason is sleep apnea, which is a breathing disorder, and dozens of nightly awakings, even though you don't come fully awake. You're far enough awake that you don't get a good night's sleep in duration or quality.
Yeah, this DOT checks for it now.
Yeah, and they didn't used to.
I know.
Like the fat tongue thing. I don't
still
get it.
I don't get it, but they say if you suffer from sleep apnea, you got a wider or a fatter tongue.
But I have a fat tongue and I don't have sleep apnea.
It's, I guess, I don't know.
They not that fat. Yours is skinny. Mine's fat.
But you know what I mean? You just wanted to stick your tongue out at me. Anyways, they. now you want to curl your tongue.
Yeah, I wanted to roll my tongue. That was what I was going for. Anyways,
40 minutes into the video, if you want to see it.
Janet rolled her tongue and stuck her tongue out at Patrick.
God damn you.
So, you were saying, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, yeah, DOT now checks for it. I don't know how they could tell by you sticking your tongue out whether or not you may or may not suffer from sleep deprivation. I think it has to do with you when you stick your tongue out. It has to do with something in the neck area.
Oh, that makes sense, kind of. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Neck, glands, all that. You know, because they're just looking at the texture, I guess, of your tongue. Really?
I was just trying to see if I felt any different.
Really?
I looked like a goddamn marionette.
You do. You look like a puppet, like somebody's like, like
opening my mouth.
Opening your mouth. Where's the ventriloquism when we need it?
So, other mental and medical health problems such as pain or general anxiety disorder can also interfere with quality and quantity of sleep.
Now, I may have to admit that I think when I was over the road, I probably suffered from sleep deprivation. A few times. It's like they made a movie with Patrick Swayze called Black Dog.
Mm-hmm. That was a good movie.
And that was where you see like a dog run out in front of you. Mm-hmm. I didn't quite see a dog run out in front of me. I saw a slug bug pass me that there wasn't even a slug bug there.
Okay, what was there?
Nothing. Just black of night.
My niece saw a bear, but then again she hit it, it was a bear.
I was on 88 heading home.
Okay, from bingo.
And I thought I saw a slug bug pass me and did one of these and there was nothing there.
Now
nothing.
Now, the black dog thing, I've definitely seen animals that weren't there when I was driving. And that's when I'm like, okay, I'm seeing shit that ain't there.
That's what I mean.
Pulling over.
And I did. I got off the next exit and then got on the on-ramp, pulled on the shoulder road, and just zonked for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I was literally 45 minutes from my home exit.
So I think the state police in almost every state lead to sleep deprivation in anybody that travels. Car, truck, RV, anything. Because it used to be you could pull off on the shoulder on an on-ramp or exit ramp and take a nap, sleep, whatever, because you didn't feel safe driving because you were that tired.
Right. I don't feel safe enough to get to a truck stop.
Correct. Or a rest stop or a town, you know, wherever. Because just because there's an exit doesn't mean there's a town.
Right.
Now they ticket you.
That's crazy.
Which, again, you know, I've argued myself out of a ticket. I've dated myself out of a ticket. But still, they tried writing me a ticket.
Hey. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I dated the cop to get out of the ticket, you know, but hey, you know, they write you tickets now I'm like, okay, but there's nothing near me and I'm tired. What am I supposed to do? Drive tired? Fall asleep and wreck the truck?
Yeah. No, sorry.
Keep driving and stay awake was what one cop told me.
Oh, okay.
But I went to court and talked to the judge. I'm like, I was that tired. I don't know why, but I was that tired.
Yeah. It happens.
You know, so.
It happens.
Yes. And as for the anxiety, I've never had anxiety so bad that it interfered with my sleep. Stress, yes.
Okay.
I've been so stressed over something or a problem with someone that I toss and I turn and all I can do is think about it. Like my brain won't shut off.
Yep.
That I've had. Now, if that's considered anxiety.
Yeah, because you even said, hey, what were you dreaming about last night? You were like all over the place.
Oh, yeah. You mean when I woke up with you on top of my face?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You rolled over and I opened my eyes and your back is on top of me.
I have no recollection of the event in question.
Oh, like when you elbowed my face?
I did no such thing. Did I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I clearly recall. Because
I remember almost punching you in the face by trying to get my arm out from under your pillow.
yeah, I remember that too.
I got stuck.
The joys of a relationship. So,
In reality, sleep is more about the quality of sleep and waking up refreshed.
okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'll agree.
So rather than hours of sleep, different people need different amounts of sleep.
That's what I was saying.
Exactly.
So,
Really is more about sleep insufficiency or sleep deprivation?
it's more about sleep insufficiency or deficiency.
Which is it?
They're the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
As opposed to deprivation, as opposed to not getting enough sleep, it's about the insufficient quality of sleep.
Oh, okay.
Is what my notes mean.
I got you. So what you're saying is,
Some people need that 8 hours. For others, 5
Yeah.
or 6 is enough,
Well,
and they
that's
feel
what-
refreshed.
that's what I'm saying. So if you go back to the guy's book, where
Yes.
he says 7 to 9 hours is the quote recommended,
Correct.
and everybody's different. You and I even know that. It's like
Yes.
7 hours for me, and 7 hours for you might not be enough. 7 hours for me might be perfect.
And there's some nights when 4 hours for me is perfect.
I don't think 4 hours for you is ever perfect. I'm just saying. I'm talking about sleep.
I am too. You're going there?
I went there.
You went there.
I went there. What you gonna say? What you gonna do about it?
I'm going to punch you, Patrick.
I didn't do nothing to get punched. I'm just saying, you get crabby on 4 hours of sleep. Just saying.
I'm going to give you crabby.
Give you candy.
Anyway.
I'm saying 4 hours of sleep is no good for nobody.
Tell my brothers that.
But in reality, what they're saying is 4 hours of sleep is no good. No
Correct.
bueno. There's my Spanish for today.
Oh, look at you. You learned a word. Okay. So, many
Really?
people say.
Really? You're going to go there? Everything in our house is turned to Spanish.
Okay, now explain what happens when I turn my computer on to Amazon.
Janet's been learning Spanish, and now everywhere we turn, something is coming at us in Spanish.
Like Amazon.
Amazon.
When I explain
commercials on some of the apps that she uses.
now in Spanish.
Our TV commercials are now coming across in Spanish. That's like
I
they're
haven't
listening.
figured that one out. But Amazon, when I log in, even though I've never bought anything in Spanish from Amazon, sometimes when I log in, everything's in Spanish, which I think is hilarious.
I think it's hilarious. I think you're changing your language.
I'm not.
I think you are.
I
think
have
subconsciously you said, you know what? I'm going to see if I could do this in Spanish.
Nope. Anyway, back to the show.
You're sleep
So,
deprived. That's what it is.
Many people say I'm not sleep deprived. I'm just an insomniac. So what's the difference?
That's a good question.
People with insomnia have trouble sleeping even when they have plenty of time to sleep. Like me, I could sleep all day. The only thing that happened is the house would get dirty and the pugs wouldn't go outside. They'd go inside.
Okay.
I think of those people who have time to sleep and they say things like, and I just said this, my brain doesn't shut off or shut down at night.
Okay. So what's the cure for that, though? How do you get your brain to shut down?
Drugs.
Okay.
I'm not talking to go out and do meth or anything. I'm talking about
They
pills
have,
from the doctor, the things
yeah,
that
they
make...
have like that. What's it like? Ambien? Do they use that anymore?
I think so. I don't know because for me, I meditate.
Well, I mean, they also got that
Music.
that Z-Quil.
Yeah, there's over-the-counter things. But you can...
melatonin, is that what that is?
Yep, melatonin's over-the-counter. But you can also meditate to shut your brain down.
Sorry.
You can listen to music to shut your brain down. There's calming exercises you can do. And I'd still do those.
What?
One other way is
What?
shut off everything electronic like an hour before bed or half an hour before bed. Get off your computer, get off your phone, get off your TV. Listen to some music, calming music, not hard acid
Not
rock.
heavy metal,
No.
not Satan music, nothing.
No, stay off the Satan music, please.
It's all fun.
I know. But anyway, that'll help calm your brain down.
Okay.
Listen to something soothing. That's why they always, the waterfalls,
yeah.
the indoor waterfalls.
Yeah, there's an app now. What's it called? Calm?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, there's a Calm app.
You simmer down over there.
I bumped my
You're
computer.
getting out of control.
My fingers got cold. I had to put them between my knees. Anyway,
Anyways.
that helps shut your brain down. And I know that from experience. When something's bothering me, I get off of all the electronics and
You get off the book of face. Insta Twitter face.
Insta Twitter face, as I call it.
Yep.
I get off of that and off of the apps that I do puzzles and games on.
Mm-hmm.
And I either read or listen to music. And I snuggle a pug. Animals help.
Yeah,
Animals help calm you.
you
Proven
get your,
fact.
You get your pug heaters on. You're out within 30
Oh,
seconds.
God, I don't care what time of day it is. I get one on each side of me, I'm out.
They turn their heaters up. It's like Janet.
Mm-hmm. Thank God they don't do that when I drive.
I know. Well, thank God they're not in the car with you when you drive.
Well, they are when I take them to the vet or
Yeah.
to the groomer.
They're
or
too
something.
busy. They're too busy looking out of the window at everybody. Like, hello, look at me. I'm cute. Pet me.
Pretty much. Anyway,
So,
on the other hand, people with sleep deprivation don't have enough time allocated for sleep as a result of their behavior choices or everyday obligations.
okay.
People that work 15 hours a day or have 2 jobs or
Right.
have a job and kids and et cetera, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera.
And they're the people that are trying to catch up on their sleep. Or,
on their days off, yeah.
You know.
It's like they said, that used to be said, oh, that's not possible, but they've since discovered, you know what, that is possible. On your days off, sleep more. If you
I know. I know. It's
great news, Patrick.
I know. It's great news.
That's why I let you sleep more on your days off.
But I don't want
I don't want to, he says.
I don't like it.
Tough. So, really, if you're suffering from or trying to figure out what your sleep issue is,
See your doctor.
go see your doctor. I mean,
That's
we're not
the best thing. We're not trained professionals.
we're
but
not trying to cure it. We're just trying to explain what we know and
Yeah.
what we've researched.
what we've researched, what we've gone through in our
Personal
experience,
journeys.
in our experience.
Yeah.
You know, we've suffered from this. And
Especially when we both drove or when we drove the RV or drove a car cross country, because we've driven a lot of U-Hauls
this, you know,
cross
it's
country.
like they say staring at the lines on the road is hypnotizing.
It is.
You know, you got to get out, stretch
Doesn't
your legs.
matter what you're driving or riding, like a motorcycle. It doesn't matter. You're staring at the lines, it'll hypnotize you. White line fever.
Yep.
Hey, there was a movie named that.
What?
I do believe so.
Oh, I'll have to look it up. I'll
So
have to look it up.
there's a lot of reasons for sleep issue. Things like, did you know there's a thing called poor sleep hygiene?
What?
I didn't know that. I had to look it
I
up.
don't know. What's that
Refers
refer to?
your healthy habits, behaviors, and environmental factors that help you get adjusted to a good night's sleep. Like life choices, work all day, party all night. That's not good sleep.
That's not good unless you're a rock star. That's the only time you can do it.
Well, that's not good sleep hygiene, as they call it. Which,
Okay. But it's good if you're a rock star.
okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, then they catch up on their sleep on their days off on the bus, I guess.
On the bus, yeah. They sleep all day, party
Oh.
all night.
Okay. Good to know.
No?
I want to be a rock star.
Me
Or
too.
a country star. I want to be a country
I just
star.
want the money.
That's it. I just want the
I
money.
just want
That's
the
it.
money and the fame.
I don't want the fame. I just want the money.
Oh, I want the fame. I want people to say, that's what's his name?
That's
No, I'm
popcorn.
not Eminem.
Popcorn. That's popcorn.
What?
DJ Country Popcorn.
Crunchy popcorn. Yo, that's Poppy over there.
Yeah. So, work obligations or shift workers.
Okay.
If you work a rotating shift,
Oh, that would suck.
been there, done that, that really
It's like every
stinks.
3 weeks, usually. It's like when your body finally adjusts to that schedule, they change it.
I also, way back when, would work like 2 morning shifts, then an afternoon shift, and then 2 evening shifts. And then after the evening shift, they'd have me work a mid shift, come in at 11. After I got off at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to be back at work at 11.
See, that's insane.
I'm like, that's what I tell them. So then when I took over scheduling, like my first management job, I never scheduled anyone for that. And we were 24 hours.
See, that's
I made
what
a
kills
point to
me.
not schedule people like that.
And people work it. People
Yeah, they do.
it.
Because
They're
they
like,
need the money.
I have to. I have
I
to do
needed
it.
the money.
No, there's other jobs out there. You go get a different job that doesn't make you do that.
But I lived
They
in a
can't make
small
you do it.
town. There weren't a lot of jobs, and I was with someone who didn't work.
Then get out of town.
I did. I got out of town.
Get out of Dodge.
Anyway. So those things keep you from finding, it makes it hard to get the amount of sleep that you really need.
Right.
And of course, like we talked about, sleep disorders, anxiety, or medical conditions that keep you from sleeping.
This is true.
If you're
and if you're suffering from any of this, see your doctor. You know, only you and your doctor can figure it out.
Or your mental health professional.
Yeah, there's tests that can be done to help figure out, okay, what can we do to help you get more sleep?
Correct.
You know, hey, try this. Hey, try that. Let's try this.
And if they think you suffer from sleep apnea, they'll do a sleep apnea test.
They will.
An actual test, not just have you stick your tongue out.
Yeah. They won't just say, that just throws me. Stick your tongue out.
I
Why?
don't understand that at all.
I have to check for sleep deprivation.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't understand how your tongue... I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't ask. I asked the one time, and he says, well, it's supposedly I can tell if you're sleep deprived. I'm like, by looking at my tongue. Okay.
Okay.
I said, I don't buy it. You quacks all went to school for XYZ.
Yep. So, Patrick, are you sleep deprived? Do you have chronic sleep deprivation?
All the above. I'm kidding. Being with you, you let me sleep all the time.
I do not.
I should be well rested.
Well, so should I, but I'm always tired.
I know. Eat the energy foods that we talked about.
In our another episode.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
You're not doing it.
I do, too.
No, not if you're sleeping all the time.
Not everybody has an iron deficiency, Patrick.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, eat stuff higher in iron, then.
Anyway.
Whoopsh. Gotcha on that one. I did. I got. You going there?
Yeah, I went there. Anyway.
Anyways,
That's
if
everything.
If you're interested in the book that Mr.
Matthew Walker
wrote,
wrote.
I forget what's the name of the
Why
book?
We Sleep.
Why We Sleep. We will put a link in the show notes for you.
I know
to
why
be
we
able
sleep.
To get that book.
Because we're tired.
And, oh, you funny gal.
There'll be other links.
Thousands of comedians out of work, and you want to be one.
There's going to be a link for overnight parking.
Yes, we did do an episode, and we on overnight parking. So if you're feeling sleep deprived and you need to pull over somewhere, listen to that episode. That gives you some key ideas as to where you could park your large vehicle.
Correct.
Or automobile.
Yes.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah, I don't think we have a place to park the planes. Though.
No.
A lot of people do tend to park them on interstates lately.
Or
in houses.
Or in the canal.
Yeah, this is true.
We had one go down in the canal recently.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Just dropped out of the sky. Oh, hop on. Phew.
It was there.
It
wasn't.
It wasn't.
Till it was.
And now it was.
It wasn't until it was.
Oh my God, Buffy.
Yes.
Anyways.
Say goodbye, Patrick.
We thank you all for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.